Meet Raj. He runs a bustling customer service point all day. But watch what happens to his desk when the clock hits 6. The customers go home, and the workspace goes dark. Look closely at what sits on that quiet desk. He has a solid internet connection, a reliable laptop, and a power backup system to keep everything running. But every evening after 6 o'clock, that entire setup completely powers down. The hardware is fully operational, but the business simply stops. That downtime is trapped capital. Raj has already paid for the exact infrastructure required to run a second income stream, but he lacks a product to deliver during those evening hours. Right outside his door, however, there is a massive gap in the local market. Students in his community urgently need access to high-quality after-school tutoring. Raj hesitates to step into this space for 2 very logical reasons. He isn't a trained teacher, and he assumes building a learning center requires a massive investment in smart boards and projectors. Structurally, he is sitting in a fueled car with the engine running, but he doesn't know how to drive it. To capture that evening revenue, Raj doesn't need to spend years earning an education degree. He simply needs to find an expert driver to operate the vehicle he already owns. This is exactly where the Veda Edutech CSP Learning Center program fits in. It provides the driver for his idle vehicle. If we audit his equipment against Veda's actual requirements, the first myth disappears. You don't need to buy a large television. A standard screen is fine to start. The minimum viable setup is exactly what Raj already owns: a computer, a mic, and stable internet. When you look at the official registration form, the required infrastructure checks off perfectly against the gear already sitting on a standard CSP desk. Because the existing customer service point business model already requires this hardware, 90% of the upfront capital typically needed to open a learning center is already absorbed. That takes care of the hardware, but what about the actual teaching? Veda Edutech provides the experienced faculty who conduct live online classes. The academic heavy lifting is entirely handled by Veda, supplying digital study notes and regular progress assessments. Raj's daily responsibilities are strictly local. He manages the physical seating space, keeps the environment quiet, and coordinates directly with the parents in his neighborhood. His equipment acts as a digital bridge. The expertise originates with Veda, travels across his internet connection, and lands safely with the local students. Because of this clear operational separation, the local partner never has to write a single lesson plan or solve a math equation. Initiating this partnership requires a low financial barrier. The initial partner fee is exactly 1,500 rupees. If the center opens but fails to enroll a student in the first month, the fee automatically rolls over. If that 0 enrollment continues entirely through month 2, Veda guarantees a complete 100% refund. By utilizing the hardware that already exists on the desk and backing the low entry fee with a 2-month safety net, the partner's total financial risk is objectively 0. Now look at Raj's shop at 6 o'clock. The lights stay on, the laptop is open, and a previously dead hour is generating active revenue. It's a highly manageable operation. He only needs 2 to 3 children to start a batch, and the daily time commitment is barely an hour and a half. As those first few students improve their grades, word spreads through the neighborhood parents, and the local cohort naturally scales up. What starts as a smart way to maximize a computer's uptime quickly becomes a vital educational hub for the entire community. The infrastructure is already paid for and waiting on your desk. Simply fill out the registration form today and turn your idle assets into a risk-free partnership.